Coming to you live-ish from the KE room. Behind me is Mrs. Sylvie's board, where you see this question, who is Jesus? And this is the question for us as we work through Mark. Today is Mark chapter 10, and we see more of Jesus revealed as we see more of his kingdom and more of the thoughts and the processes and his actions about why he's come to earth. In this passage, there are some contrasts about what people expect kingdom to look like and what it will be and is because of Christ. There are the contrasts of those who are left in vulnerable states, people, the women especially, who are left without a protector, being a husband or a father, or about children who have no monetary value, have no power, but Jesus says the kingdom is like this. By contrast, you have the rich young ruler who has everything. And you have the disciples, James and John, who argue about being at Jesus' left and right in positions of honor when he comes into glory in Jerusalem. But Jesus says to them, guys, my glory is not what you think it is. He's already explained to them that he is going to Jerusalem to die, to give himself away for the sake of the vulnerable. We are those vulnerable, the ones who cannot do it for himself. He is not a king that will sit and lord over, but a king who will give himself up for the good of his kingdom. And yet the disciples still argue over being part of this kingdom, not realizing what they're asking. Jesus was a good king who gave himself up for the sake of those who couldn't, the sake of those who were vulnerable, vulnerability of gender, being female, of age, being older or younger, of environment, being able to have money or not, being a Roman citizen or not. Those who were lame and blind and deaf, Jesus gave himself to in their healing and conversation and touch with, literally touching them. But also he came for us who are hopeless, hopelessly bound in our sin. He gave himself away for us. This is what a good king looks like. In England and France and Germany, from the about 10th to the 17th century, there was this idea that the kings and queens could pray over scrofula, those who came with this disease on their neck, that if they gave themselves away for the people, that they would be healed. King James II of England prayed over 92,000 people during his reign, as he believed that his job as a king was to care for these people, to do everything he could to heal them. Queen Anne, later on, didn't see nearly as many as James, but is said that before she met these people with this scrofula, with this mass disfiguration, she went into fasting for 3 days. She would then put her hand on the person's neck and pray for them. She was willing to get down into the dirty and the dusty and to the sick and the infected for the sake of the people of her kingdom. This is who Jesus was. Now, could these kings and queens really heal from the scrofula? Well, probably not. But can Jesus heal us? Yes. Can Jesus look out for the vulnerable? Yes. Can Jesus give life to the darkest spaces? Yes. You see, Jesus' kingdom was not about ruling over, but giving life to. He is the perfect example of what a good king is. And we are called to be like him, to be part of his kingdom. We are called also to realize how much we need him. This is what it means to be embraced and to serve Christ. Christ who put aside power to give himself up for the other. Christ who looks out for the vulnerable. Christ who is our Lord. There's some questions I'd like to discuss about God, his kingdom, about Jesus and what has been revealed to him. So get onto that, and I'd love to hear some of your thoughts.